Welcome back to Survivor Dreamcasting. I'm Spartacus, and today we're going to be talking about Survivor Game Changers. And I know that this was already a season, but like a lot of superfans, I had a lot of problems with the cast of this season. I thought that many of them were not game changers. And so today we're going to be recasting Survivor Game Changers to who I think should be on it and who shouldn't be on it. So we're going to go through the cast in order of elimination, and I'm going to say whether they deserve to be on the tribe or they shouldn't. First one, Sierra Easton. I said she did deserve to be on the cast because she voted out her mom. She blindsided Andrew Savage. I thought she was definitely a game changer, so she's on my list. Tony from Cagayan, definitely a game changer. He won making a spy shack. He convinced Wu to take him to the finals. Definitely a game changer. He's on my list. So Caleb from Co Wrong, he got medically evacuated in one of the beginning episodes, and at the end of that episode, it said Caleb is doing well and would like to play again, kind of hinting that he is gonna play again. And so I understand why they put him on this cast, because they just wanted to put him on a cast so that I guess they don't have to put him on another one. But I was kind of glad to see him on here because he wanted to play so bad. But I don't think he was a game changer, so he was not on my cast. Malcolm, I didn't think he was much of a game changer in Survivor Philippines. I definitely loved his gameplay in Survivor Philippines, but in Karamoan is when I thought he was a game changer because he made an idle blindside move with Eddie and Reynold, the three amigos, and I forget who they voted out, but they voted out somebody. I know that for sure. And it was such a game-changing move. It made Eddie make it to the Final Four, so he's on my list. JT from Talkin' Cheens, definitely on my list, but not because of anything he did in Talkin' Cheens. I thought he was on my list because of Survivor Heroes versus Villains. And this was a game-changing move that actually wasn't in his favor because he gave Russell an immunity idol, thinking that the other tribe, the Villains tribe, had an all-girl alliance and were getting rid of all the guys. And so he gave Russell a letter, even though Russell was controlling that tribe. And so Russell got the idol. He made it to the final three. JT did not. And so JT is on this list because he is a game changer, even though it was in his favor. Next, from Survivor Pearl Islands, I have Sandra, and I don't think she did anything game-changing, but she did win twice, and I guess that's kind of game-changing. I understand why they had her on this list, so she made it onto my list. Next one, Jeff Varner. I mean, he's never been on the jury. He's never done any big moves. All that he's ever done has been being paranoid. And so, no, he was not on my cast. Next one is Haley from Survivor Worlds Apart. And sometime during this season, all of the castaways did an interview saying who they think shouldn't be on here. They all said Haley. Well, most of them said Haley. And even Haley said she didn't deserve to be on the season. And I don't know what she did that was game-changing and Worlds Apart that made her deserve to be on this cast, but she is not on my Dreamcast. Next one is Ozzy, and I understand why they had Ozzy on here for being a challenge beast, all of that. And I had him on my list. He is on my list. And it was because of his fake idol. He invented fake idols, and I thought that was genius. And so he is definitely on my list. Next one is Debbie. I did put Debbie on my list. Definitely a wild card. She's on my list. Next one is Zeke. Also like Debbie, a wild card. Very good at strategizing. He is on my list. Next one is Sierra, and she did not make it on my list. She made it further than Haley did in Worlds Apart, but I don't know why she's on this list. She didn't do anything. Next one is Andrea from Redemption Island, and she was very popular, and she has played twice before this season, but I don't know why she was a game changer. She kind of just followed Cochran's lead, or she followed Boston Rob's lead, and so she did not make it onto my list. Next one is Monica, and she is wild card, willing to flip. She is on my list. Also, Sari, definitely on my list. She got Eric Reichenbach to give up his immunity necklace. I think that was one of her biggest game-changing moves, so she made it on. Aubrey from Ko-Rong, I don't have much to say about her other than she is on my list. Ty, also from Ko-Rong, I don't have much to say about him, but he was great at finding idols. He is on my list. Troyzan from One World, I do not think that he played a very good game in Survivor Game Changers, but in One World, he did play a very strategic game, very challenging game, so he did make it onto my list. From Survivor Blood vs. Water, Brad Culpepper. Honestly, I would have much rather seen Monica Culpepper than Brad Culpepper on this list. I loved Brad's game in this one, Survivor Game Changers, but in Blood vs. Water, I don't think he did anything game-changing other than blindsiding John, but that was it. He got voted out pre-merge, and I think really the only reason he was on this cast is because Jeff Probst liked him. So Sarah Lucina, the winner of the season, is not on my list. And hear me out. She played an amazing game in Survivor Game Changers. She played an amazing game in Survivor Winners at War. In Cagayan, I don't know what she did that was game-changing. She was the first boot of the merge, and really, she kind of called out Tony for being a cop, I guess. That was really it. I don't know what else she did. So even though she won, she is not on my list. So now we're moving on to people that are on my list, that I put on my list. And my first one is Cochran. And it's because Cochran flipped on his majority alliance in Survivor South Pacific. And I think the Aussie was set up to win the game in that one. And he made it to the Final Four, obviously. Obviously, Cochran did not win that one. He won his next season. But I think if Cochran did not flip, it would have been a completely different game. My next one is Kelly Wentworth, and it's because she sent Kemi home with an idol, and Jeremy had an idol too, and they tied, and I have her on here. My next one is Russell Hantz, and I know that he wasn't on here because he kind of ruined his relationship with the producers, but he invented finding idols without a clue. I think that's game-changing enough. My next one is Tasha, and a lot of people don't like Tasha's game in Cambodia. I don't really like her game in Cambodia, but I think that she was very good strategically in Cagayan, and so she made it onto my list. I have Tyson Apostle, and it's because he kind of voted himself out. And like JT, this is one where he made a game-changing move that wasn't in his favor. And obviously he won his next season, Blood vs. Water. But in Heroes vs. Villains, his second season, people were convincing him to vote for somebody, and then they voted him out. And so I put him on my list. I have Chaos Cass because her name is Chaos Cass. I mean, she has to be on this list. She is very villainous, very strategic. She flipped on her Brains Alliance. I think that's enough to say she's a game changer. Next one is Mike Holloway, and I know he got the call to be on this cast, but for some reason he didn't want to. But I think that his game-changing move was really winning immunities. And I know that I said that wasn't enough for Ozzy, but his immunity run got him to win the game. And so I definitely had to put him on this list. Next one is Carolyn, also from Worlds Apart, and she went to the Final Three with Mike. But I think her problem was that she did all of her moves in the dark, like not letting anybody know about them. But she was able to find idols. She was very strategic, so she is on my Game Changers cast. Plus, I think that Jeff Probst said in an interview that he would have liked to see her on this list. So that is all of my recasting for Survivor Game Changers. Thanks for watching, and see you later.